What's up, everyone? Welcome to today's video. Welcome to the Video Game Fight School channel. Thank you very much for tuning in. Today, we're going to do an exercise where we look through some data. In 2018, I made a video that I titled "Why Marvel Spider-Man Should Be on PC." I've taken that video down. At this moment, it's unlisted on my other channel, the Gamer Dad channel. And in this video, I talked a little bit about the data that I saw for the growth of the PC market. Now, this data was from NPD Research, but they've actually removed that data set. You no longer have access to it if you try to go to the link. In fact, I think I should remove the link because I tried to go there just the other day and it said something about a security threat. So I don't want anybody to get a hold of this video and still try to go there because the link is no longer working. However, there was an article as well that actually at the time, or at least previously to my making that video, had talked about the possibility of Marvel Spider-Man coming to, PC. This was a PS4 version then. This was published in June of 2017. The game came out in 2018, so there was already, the squabbles and the conversation as well. And, the conclusion was basically, no, it wasn't going to show up, to PC. And, Insomniac even made that very popular tweet at the time that it wasn't going to be coming to PC, but is now a tweet that's out there. Now, why did I make this video? Was it because I was port begging like some of these PlayStation fans try to say and mock you? No, I was just following the data. In fact, at the time, I was, still actively playing on my PlayStation. In fact, I played Spider-Man on my PlayStation first, but I already had a gaming PC. And I was thinking to myself, well, seeing how the PC market was already changing, and at the time, a lot of new people were coming to PC, what was stopping Sony from leveraging software sales on the platform? Today, what we're going to do is we're going to do a little exercise where we're going to look at the trends and the projections for the PC industry. We're going to contrast them to what is going on in terms of the growth of the console industry, and we're going to see the shift that's been made from even these so-called closed platforms to PC, and I mean PlayStation and Xbox. Let's go ahead and start out with Sean Layden's interview that he did just recently, where he talked about exclusivity and consolidation in the industry. He didn't necessarily say much about the stagnation of the console industry, because when you think about console sales, the cost of games in terms of sales have gone up. And even still, when COVID hit, a lot of games were sold. Now, many people have taken these numbers to continue to mean that the PC industry is growing, when in reality, it's basically the same people or less that are basically buying consoles. Now, yes, there are new people that are being, introduced into console gaming, but at the rate that they're getting introduced to it, it doesn't match up to the mobile gaming scene or the PC gaming scene. This is why mobile and PC continue to be the highest growth. Phil Spencer then just recently did an interview. This was 3 days ago, just basically a month and weeks after Sean Layden's interview, where he talked about Moore's Law basically has slowed down. The components that is used to make the consoles these days are no longer as cheap as they used to be. So it appears that the subsidization of the hardware that console gaming is, because many of you may or may not know, your PlayStation 5 costs somewhere around maybe even $600 or more to make. They just sell it to you at a subsidized cost. And that subsidization is probably right now getting, too long in the tooth. Basically, it's not profitable for them. And with the sales not coming in as fast to help to subsidize or at least recover the cost, many of these console manufacturers have to find other ways to make income. I think this is why you're seeing PlayStation make moves to PC. In fact, they already communicated how they were going to make their moves to PC. They were going to first go ahead and start throwing some games years later down the road. This, strategy was supposed to help them, start getting more sales, maybe even start bringing more people into their ecosystem. And then with their other titles that are live service, they're going to be doing day and dates to bring those games to the PC platform. So already PlayStation is a third-party publisher. They joined Microsoft later on, but they are now in the same cahoots, seeing that almost none of their exclusives that were on the PlayStation 4 will be left anymore as an exclusive game. Why are they doing this? Well, if you look at the gaming industry projections from 2024 to 2029, the market is actually, basically projected to grow from $204 billion, which is the current projection this year, all the way to $315 billion by 2029. It's a 5-year gap. And if you look at the market analysis, it says the PC market size is estimated at $204 billion in 2024 and is expected to reach $315 billion in 2029. This is basically with a 9% growth. Console has been around 1 to 2% in its own movement, and this hasn't necessarily been impressive. With overall shipments of at least 21.7 million PCs, Lenovo dominated the PC market in Q4 last year. It was also the largest shipper for the entire past year, reaching a record 82 million units, an increase of 13.1% over 2020, with Q4 shipments at 18.7. So Lenovo basically, within 4 years, leaped significantly to dominate by shipping 82 million units. Think about this now. There's a mix of PCs in here. Not saying everything in there is a gaming PC, but that leaves room for a significant percentage from one PC manufacturer to be gaming PCs or workstations, or even right now, there are old units that are basically being put on the used market that are being sold at auctions or sold on eBay that people buy and convert to gaming PCs. This movement and passage of the hardware to more and more hands continues to grow the software capability in terms of sales for PC. If you think about Dell, HP, Acer, Asus, and all of the manufacturers shipping these volumes, it's little wonder that you have to basically go ahead and look at the revenue growing by leaps and bounds. I mean, the revenue in 2016, when I got into the PC market, was around $165 billion. In literally 2 years, that number moved to about $200 billion. Think about it, an entire, $20-ish billion movement. That is crazy. Or 20 to 30, depending on how you look at it, in that time period. Since then, it's kind of fluctuated, but now they're projecting that in about 2028, you're looking at $24 billion in terms of revenue. If anybody is not planning a PC shift at this point, they're not serious about their market. Nintendo continues to sit pretty because Nintendo is actually not necessarily a console. They're a handheld, which obviously everyone, Steam, Xbox, PlayStation, MSI, Acer are all starting to say, and even Lenovo, by the way, they're all starting to see the value of a handheld and have now all jumped into the handheld market. Because guess what? It appears that Nintendo has been sitting pretty on this enjoyment for the longest time and have not necessarily said anything to anybody. So now everybody is pretty much, keyed in and dialed in on what's going on. And now it's obvious that the handheld market, which was largely looked down upon for the longest time, is now, in today's day and age, with the propagation of good internet and even the availability of good connection, is a very solid proposition out there. Ladies and gentlemen, the console market is not going to go anywhere. I know this video may seem like I'm saying that, consoles are going to die, blah, blah, blah. No, there will still be a place for consoles. But if you do not have a PC pipeline in your console deployment in any way, whether it be on your main hardware, like say Xbox is trying to bring Steam and Epic Games Store to their PC platform. Some people have said this is going to be the death of the platform. I laugh and say, you have no imagination. Or in the case of, say, Sony PlayStation and even Microsoft themselves going ahead and, taking their software to PC, be it day one or be it day 1.5 or be it 6 months or whatever, I think you're going to be left in the back burner because you're going to lose out on sales. A lot of your studios are going to close. And if you don't have anything to offer your gamers, you're going to be gone next because your hardware is not going to be able to keep you in the market. Because if you don't have a unique proposition, there's no place for you in this market. So what I see with all of this, and my conclusion is, just as Microsoft has made some of these advancements to open up its ecosystem, I see PlayStation following immediately after. And Nintendo is not going to sit there pretty. They may not expand to PC because they don't need to. Their games do not require all of that. What I think Nintendo's next move is mobile. I think that's a platform that's not threatening, that still keeps them in a very safe position. But then at the same time, when you kind of consider what is all going on, they can leverage the mobile platform and still, be able to enjoy their exclusivity, enjoy their own handheld sales, and still be able to compete in their own range as long as they make the games that they're own customers want to play and still stand out. But it's a very interesting conversation overall. I think we have to let time play out for this one. There's a lot that can change in an instant, but I don't think the bet on the console market solely as the individual way for companies to make money right now is the way to go. Things are changing so much. Many people are changing to gaming PCs because at the end of the day, they've looked and said, at the end of the day, Sony wants to sell software. Microsoft wants to sell software. What is the big deal for me to basically go ahead and bother myself buying a console that's going to be outdated, and then I'm going to be looking for another $300 when on a PC? I can easily convert $200. I can convert $50. I can convert $20 sometimes if I find a good deal on, say, maybe RAM or whatever. And now I've made my machine more powerful without having to wait for Sony or Microsoft to give me the go-ahead to get a more powerful machine. Thanks for watching the video. Let me hear your thoughts in the comment section. Appreciate you guys' time and audience. Hopefully we'll talk pretty soon in another one. Peace out.